Butler, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter.
Yes,
peace, Milwaukee. How y'all doing?
That's what's up.
Outlaw Radio in the building. People's Network presents Outlaw Radio. Say it right, say it tight, keep it up, keep it strong, keep it going. Hit like, hit share, follow.
Share.
We are late as hell. I understand. Thank you for being patient with us. These things don't always work out like I would like for them to. But share the live, let everybody know what's going down, man. The North Side represents, the 414 represent. Let them know who you are. Be proud of yourself. Be black and be strong. This is what we do weekly. We start out on Wednesdays, we go into Thursdays, and we do Saturdays to close the week out. So it's Outlaw Radio. Shady.
Hey.
Put your ass on blast tonight, Jack. In my Lee P. Barnes voice. That was my daddy, if y'all ain't know.
Okay.
Shout out to 3041 North, Mr. Terry down at 3041 North doing great black business.
5-star.
414-810-3131. Please get with Miss Serena Brown. Get the boils. Get the seafood boils. Let's get it all. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you have something to say, do, or express, please contact us with the gypsiness.
That's it.
We're going to talk. We're going to have a conversation. We'll do a consultation with you. We'll figure out where you want to go with your business. We'll figure out what you really want to do with it, right? And if you're serious about it like we are about what we do, then we can get down and we can make it happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't come with all your money, but come with some of it. It is what it is. I'm in here with my brothers tonight.
Hey, man.
On Outlaw Radio. What's poppin', Jake?
Hey, man. Saturday night.
All right.
This beverage, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them nights, right? So y'all stay hydrated. Have some vitamin water.
Hydration, family. Hydration.
World-class smartass in the building. The mayor of Chocolate City, the mouthpiece of the movement. The militant with a microphone, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer. I can tell you exactly what we need to do. The problem is you might not agree with me. So we have to have a conversation about it.
At least one.
Right. So we're going to talk about shadiness. Shout out to DAMG, Brother Dante Chestnut.
Yes.
And, the Plug Magazine, which we are prominently featured in. Not prominently, but at least featured.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Locally accepted, nationally respected type shit. And you know what? Like I said, if you have something going, please let us know. Please let everybody else know you seen a podcast tonight that put everything else to rest. When you want to talk about what's going on with Black Milwaukee and black men in particular in Milwaukee, you have to come to the People's Network.
Hey.
So on Wednesday nights, we're going to launch our opening salvo with Outlaw Radio, The Warrior Report. Internal affairs, inside information. Think about it. Build. Well, how are you building your ride? Are you building it from the inside out or the outside in? I'd rather put a good engine than a slick paint job.
Hey, this is where we help you wash the inside of the cup, right?
Thursday nights, we go into just Outlaw Radio. Shout out to Key Minor, who was our estrogen last week.
Shout out.
A strong sister who represented. And shout out to y'all if y'all supported that show. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Let me get that out the way. And people saying, well, goddamn, who else you love? Well, I love Olivia Manuel Wright with Black Nurses Rock.
Yeah,
Gigolo Jackson, the homie.
All right.
The street homie, the comedian. We did a show called Funny Business a couple weeks ago. It's all on my timeline. Go check it out. It's all on our YouTube page. The People's Network is our YouTube page. Struggling over there.
Yeah, just y'all go and click on YouTube. Let me give a quick shout out too.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Give a shout out to our brother Jabo Butler, Mr. Heal the Hood. Come back with us next Wednesday. Come back Wednesday. He'll be on the show with us. So make sure y'all come out. Mr. Heal the Hood. The actual Heal the Hood event is next Saturday. So come on out. Bring your kids. It's a kid event. It's a kid-friendly event. We're going to have book bags, school supplies, free food for the kids. So bring them on out. Come hang out.
Support.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right. And these events are for the people. And if you don't take care of, if you don't attend them, and really treat it with some care, it means nothing. So it's like I don't understand how like major stars that are supposed to be black people will skip the BET Awards but show up at the Grammys.
Well, that's
to me, that's
a little bit about it,
right? Like so you via satellite for my shit, but you on the red carpet over here.
Right.
It shows you who we actually trust and who we actually believe in when it comes to defining us.
And even
that is a celebration of our culture.
Absolutely.
Because you think about the music that's dominant is black music, it's cultural music, it's Latino music, it's
hairstyle.
It's not the bullshit that they listen to.
But hold on, but where did all the music come from?
All of it came
from the
you know what I'm saying?
The drum of an African.
Exactly.
There
we go.
From a drum of an African.
So as far as supporting, at least match dollar for dollar, right? If you went and spent $100 at Summerfest, you know what I'm saying? Come down to some of these events. It was good. What was Garvey Fest today?
Yeah,
come spend some money with your own people, at least as much as you spent with them. So y'all be at Bastille Days and all that stuff. Come on, support yourself.
Come to the people event
for sure.
Come support those. It was a nice event out there too. You know what I'm saying? They had different entertainers. They had different prominent leaders in the city speaking. It was a dope place, man. They had vendors out there, a couple vegan vendors out there.
I ate.
Different sweets. People ate sweets. Got some of that good gumbo from Ms. Zakaya. Okay. Zakaya Courtney. Shout out to Zakaya Courtney.
Was it vegan with soul or something like that?
Yeah, vegan soul.
Vegan soul. Vegan soul. It's good stuff.
Get your mind right, man. Put the women and the children to bed. You can keep the women up. Just put the kids to bed because I might curse. The opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio.
Solely those are the motherfucker that said it.
So nobody be mad at it. If you got a problem with it, chime in. We can see your comments. We're live on YouTube. Go subscribe to the YouTube page. I can't say that enough times. When we talk about Shady, like I thought about, because sometimes it's hard to draw for the energy. And the energy is everything. And shout out to Key Minor, the sister who was with us the other night, because she referenced energy and the energy in the room. You know what I'm saying? And right now, what we have in this city, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we have elections coming up, but we also have a very, very, very thick layer of incumbent leaders who are ineffective. And for so long, they've made decisions for themselves, right? So they could be the ones who benefited from these decisions. And, we got to do a better job of vetting our leaders. We really have to ask tough questions. The true mark of a great leader is that you can't make him uncomfortable because he's comfortable with the truth.
All right.
And he's transparent. So it's nothing that he can't answer. You know what I'm saying? And we've forgotten that as people in the community. We've forgotten to demand that our leaders be accountable for us and to us.
Absolutely.
And you're not a rabble rouser. Don't let that coon see. We use the word Uncle Tom. It's totally misconstrued.
It really is.
Even in that play, Uncle Tom was not a bad guy.
No, he was the one. He was the one that actually stood up for black people.
He was the one.
He was the one that I say I love black people who love black people.
Yeah.
He actually did love black people.
Right.
He was Sambo.
His crime was he wouldn't beat other slaves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see, you get a little bit of inside knowledge.
Sambo.
That was the one.
Because black people calling each other coons and don't even know, or Uncle Toms, and don't even know where the terminology came from.
Who's this new nigga on that hag, boss?
Right. Who's that nigga on that nag? Right. So we start talking about black people, it becomes what my mom used to call a managed conversation. It's a managed conversation. You know what I'm saying? People start getting aggressive. We start being for real about things. We start considering what we're up against versus what we have to fight it with. Real shit. Right? So if we're gonna have a conversation for us, let's have a conversation for us.
Absolutely.
I listen
to us, for us, with us, and by us.
Listen, I'm a cheerleader for foolishness. I can entertain bullshit all day, every day. But what I really want to know is what we should be talking about. And there's a 2020 election coming in which we can kick some incumbents' asses out of town.
Al Sharpton in 2020.
Right. That's what you go for. Me, I'm a Lionel Richie man myself. I'm writing Lionel in.
I'll say he writing it
all night long.
Dancing on the ceiling.
Like the campaign statement is, throw away the work to be done.
Hello.
Let the music play on. Right. Scarface for president.
All right, Faye.
Goddamn right. Yeah, let the tack to your ass hit the motherfucking floor. You talking to a real face, man. I keep telling y'all.
We can do Face.
Scarface is my number 2 behind Tupac. You can disagree with Biggie, shut your ass up. I started small time, dope gang, coke, dope. Hip hop snob, where my face is.
Nobody ever said nothing about Scarface.
Come on, you ain't never dissed it. You wish you would. Hey.
Like that,
That
huh?
made me jump into the hip hop snob
Yeah,
world.
he did. Yeah,
Looking like Humpty Hump over there.
Forget the chain.
Oh, you want the chain too? You want the full effect? Oh shit!
Look. Hey,
Hip hop snob in the
No, I
building.
feel like Crush Groove in this.
Man.
Yo.
Body moving. Got that record over there. The record right over there.
That's what's up.
So it's Outlaw Radio, man. It's Shady, man. We got to do a better job, man. You tell me you want my vote. I want to know what you're going to do with it. You tell me that you want me to buy your product. I want to know what I'm going to get out of it. Mm-hmm. You understand me? You got to get done with believing everything they tell you. If you sit idle and let this Democratic, fucking Republican bullshit ass rhetoric and hype get in your brain too deeply, you're going to fall for the okie doke. First of all, there's no presidential candidate right now who openly endorses reparations. I got a problem with that.
Hello, somebody.
I got a problem with it, right? Black people can act like it don't matter all they want, but I'm going to still act like it do. So welcome to
you say real black people don't act like it don't matter. Okay. Niggas act like it don't matter. And to them, it don't. They worry about the next pair of J's, right? They worried about the rims they're going to get, you know what I'm saying? Some of them worried about who's going to win the game Sunday. You know
but it's different kinds, so it's niggas and it's black people.
Absolutely. And that's what I say all the time.
Please explain that.
Sometimes they ain't us, right? In the easiest way I can break it down, and you heard me not to be, repetitive, but, I love black people who love black people. That's the first criteria of being a black person is that you love black people.
Wow, what a revelation.
Only niggas don't love black people because you can't stand yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
Let's start there.
I'm telling you, a nigga that don't love himself hate the shit out of a nigga that love himself.
Don't like his mama.
You know what I'm saying?
Hate yourself.
Don't take care of his
say,
kid.
At that moment when Malcolm said that, I knew J. Edgar Hoover pissed his Kotex. I knew at that point he wanted him dead when he said, "Who taught you to hate you?"
Real talk.
The hate that hate made. And Malcolm said it so cocky, right? He said, like, y'all don't understand, nigga, you hate yourself.
Let me tell you, talking about a brother who read the dictionary in prison.
Right.
And came out and could out-debate scholars. Right? You know what I'm saying? Look, come on, man.
Get that boy out.
Hey, they don't teach you that. And if they do, it's in February.
Right. And you only get a half a chapter for it.
And they dare not. Let me tell you, here's one even in Black History Month on February or whatever, the one person you will never hear them teach about is Elijah Muhammad.
You goddamn right.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I don't care. I don't care how progressive your school is. It's called Malcolm X University and all that. Let me tell you, they do not teach about Elijah.
I can tell you somebody else they don't teach about.
Who that is?
Clarence 13X. Come on, 5 percenters. Talk to me. The Nation of Gods and Earths. Talk to me. What do you know about 13X? Not you.
No. Yes.
I've done extensive research.
It sounds like it.
Right.
Yes,
he's ready.
He's
ready.
Like
it's called knowledge of self, and it's called the science of the day.
And this I put my listen to learn.
Yeah. You already got I'm on my head.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something too. You know what I mean? Knowledge of self basically ain't nothing but health. It's your health.
Well, it's
knowing yourself, knowing how you work.
Some additional spirituality that comes along with that. That's outside of the body. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's an interesting way that you
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hit like, hit, share, hit, follow, man.
Because you still you even when you leave this flesh. That's a good
still
point,
you.
Y'all want a hug or something? I mean, y'all seem like goddamn.
We're just that. We right there. Yeah.
Black men can't never show each other love. They should have hugged.
We just
man.
did.
We got way more listeners today than hug, man.
I don't know if we want y'all listening to this. That's what
Old Town Road.
Cut that out.
Gotta take Brother Jay to the Old Town Road.
Fuck you, right?
We're gonna keep it hip hop. Now y'all got me going.
Is that hip hop?
Well, no, where I'm going. That is too, because that's not, you know what I'm saying. That's my sister, Lil Nas X.
That's what.
But now, check this out though.
That's what's up.
Hip hop, the emergence of hip hop, and the power players, and the controller of the culture, and the writer of the narrative jumps in, and it jumps in your face in a major way this week because we discussed this at great lengths on the show. About Jay-Z's deal with the NFL, right? And the fact that Cap wasn't involved, and now see a couple weeks. And you know what? I laugh. Look, I'm not trying to. I don't believe in I don't have to talk down on the next man to build myself up because I'm cool with that, right? But I listened to the Breakfast Club talk about everything Friday morning that we had talked about Thursday night.
Ain't that funny?
And I listened to their whole conversation. I'm like, it wasn't a goddamn thing said here that wasn't said last night on the show, right? So when they talked about the Jay-Z thing and everybody was saying it was too early, let's wait and see. And then you find out that you didn't even talk to Cap, like he wasn't a part of it. And there's a potential for you to become an owner. Now, if your plan is to attack, if your plan is to attack from inside out, become an owner, and then bring Cap in, I'm good with that. But the name of the show is Shady because right now, from where I'm standing, the deal looks shady.
You look shady.
I want to give y'all something to think about. I want
Jay-Z.
to, and please chime in. Let me know what you think. You know what this partnership with the NFL and Rock Nation and Jay-Z reminds me of? No, it don't remind me of that.
I hope not.
It reminds me of My Brother's Keeper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't remember, My Brother's Keeper was this revolutionary mentoring, interactive guidance program that Obama came up with right when he was finna leave. There was never really actually any money invested into it. There was really no real structure. It was just lip service. And I said then, it looked shady to me. And to this day, that shit has produced 0 to nothing. Now, if you out there or your sons have played in a football game or they bought them jerseys, let me know because I didn't see it in Milwaukee. And I went to some of the initial meetings, which were held at MATC because I was working there at the time. So I went down there and the STOP program that was supposed to initiate communication between young black males and the police officers. But what happened with that was the cop who came. First of all, I never trust a grown man with a bold fade. And he had a bold fade. And he was a cop. He was going to retire. He ended up being a child molester.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being convicted because he had an ongoing relationship.
Surprise, surprise.
Right. So I'm saying to you, if it looked like shit and it smelled like shit, it's probably some shit.
So let me say this.
Go ahead, bro.
Because I think that listen, because it's certain cats, right, that you can get to a level where you understand that they have help, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's certain glass ceilings that you miraculously can break through,
right?
That nobody else can break through,
right?
And for me, as the resident, conspiracy theorist and everything like that,
that's you.
When I see a brother having too much success in their world, I question that dude.
Is that behind every great fortune is a great crime?
Absolutely.
And usually behind that great crime is a white dude.
Yes.
With a black dude
first of all,
next
thank
door.
you. A white dude that's paying the black dude. So, and I'm gonna say this about my brother. He ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give him as an example. This brother haven't did nothing that I should be concerned about. Right? We are. Okay. But as an example, what I'm saying,
I got you.
A brother like Ice Cube,
yes,
who's reaching levels of success. I'm a fan. I'm an Ice Cube fan. Like I'm all in by what he's doing. It looks like he's doing the right thing. I'm glad to see them bringing, Snoop and LL aboard, and they making things happen.
Yeah.
But the dude is getting so much success. It makes me concerned. So that's now back to Jay-Z, right?
Right. Okay. Let's go back to Jay.
So when he started being able to do unprecedented things that no other, to me, you got a backroom deal going on somewhere.
Well, hold on, Jason. Wait, boy. Before, because we got some people. Y'all, please let me know what y'all think. But I will say this
to me.
Just let me throw this out there.
Yes, sir.
On my hip hop snob shit. The fact that I seen you with a shirt on that says "Do as thou wilt," which is a quote from Aleister Crowley,
yes,
who is the preeminent devil worshiper.
Mm-hmm.
He founded the satanic worshiping cult in America.
Yes.
And I seen one Photoshop. You had the shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
And years later, you're able to broker a deal in which you get in with the Billionaire Boys Club because the NFL owners, oil dudes, fuel dudes, Silicon Valley dudes, they just made a black man who kneeled. They destroyed his career when you had a white boy who kneeled 2 years before him.
And they made him into a hero.
They made him into a hero. Jay got access to this room.
Yeah, they made it seem like
Jay's not a lawyer. He has an agency. He's not a lawyer. He has no degree, has no certification. So when I say, oh, now you gonna be an owner, Shady
is
might turn out to be.
So a black man can't be. He was an owner in the NBA.
Well, he was a minority owner, but they used him, and now let's talk about that.
They're using him now.
I'm just saying,
Well,
nothing wrong with a black man being an owner.
Time out. Let's talk about what happened in Brooklyn, New York. Let's talk about the Barclays Center. Let's talk about gentrification in Brooklyn right now, which is running rampant. And you watch anything about New York, gentrification has torn Brooklyn apart. In some ways, it's good. The crime is down, but in other ways, the people of color are gone. The white hipsters live there.
They ain't gone. They went somewhere else.
Right. Well,
they
I'm just saying, so what Jay-Z got to do with that?
He was the minority owner, and he brought the people in because they wouldn't have got support for it. Because the people in Brooklyn was like, we don't want to. This is Brooklyn.
Go get
where we live.
Go get those niggas.
This is where we live at. So when Jay comes in,
I'm trying to make the connection.
I'm about to make it for you. I'm gonna make it for you. As a majority owner, he helped them get that stadium because the Nets don't move from New Jersey to New York unless you can get the Barclays Center built. You won't get support from that unless you have Jay-Z in the mix, who appeals to all those people in Brooklyn,
especially the black people.
Right. So you brought that support in. They got gentrified. They got moved around. He bounced. He was a minority owner. They paid him out. He left. Now they saying, okay, he's gonna be an NFL owner. All right. What city you gonna fuck up next?
For the gentrify another city.
Well, he's down with the plan. He had on the shirt that said, "Do as thou wilt." That is Aleister Crowley's going phrase.
So all the Illuminati poses and all that shit.
I don't believe in Illuminati.
That's fine.
Right.
That's fine. But some things are too coincidental to be coincidence.
A lot of those Illuminati signs, though, was also ancient Kemetic signs.
And so, do you think he was being ancient Kemetic?
But I also think, and what I also know is, them people use our culture against it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
The swastika is a perfect example.
Exactly.
That's also ancient Kemetic.
So they can use that as a symbol and tell you, like, this is an Illuminati sign, and really the Illuminati is us. We are the Illuminati.
But especially if
I don't believe in Illuminati either.
But I do believe
when they talk about that Illuminati, when they brought all that shit up before, it was all black entertainers who they was talking about the Illuminati shit.
I do believe in satanic worshipers. And I think it was Eddie Murphy who just did the interview. Shout out to Eddie Murphy, because we're going to talk about Dolomite. You fucking up. Well, we're going to talk about Dolomite.
Hold on, let me worship Satan, to worship the devil, you have to believe in God, in the God.
Eddie Murphy tells a story about Sammy Davis Jr. When he said, I realized that, or it might have been Jamie Foxx, because Seinfeld has this series on Netflix called Comedians in Cars Going to Get Coffee. And he talks to black comedians. And it was either Jamie Foxx or Eddie Murphy said, really, Sammy's mouth, that was cocaine mouth. Because he was a cocaine addict. Right. And he said, he told me he was a devil worshiper. He said, he told me, man, Satan is as powerful as God, man. He was a Satan.
Because Satan is a God. You got to believe, you got to understand this whole spiritual.
According to the scripture, Satan is not a God. According to the scripture, Satan was an angel.
Same thing, man. Same thing.
Angels are not God.
If you're going to pray to him, that's your God.
Your God, not
if you worship
God or
that's a God. If you worship him, that's a God. And
the definition of angel is different from a definition of God. And then to talk about the devil came in the same Bible with Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, you can't believe in no devil. Well, but first of all, you keep calling the Bible a book. The Bible is not a book. The Bible is a simulation, a collection of books that were written by different. No, it's not. It's in between two covers. Listen, it's not. What's between page? What's got pages in the middle and two covers? And then how? And then what's that called? And then look, how do you navigate that when you go? You go to the book. I'm talking about what's in it. But I am the book of Matthew, the book of James, the book of Peter. The Bible is one of those books. This is what they say, right? And another one of the books they said something else.
Check this out. Shout out to Elder DeAndre Love, who's watching, who normally will come on and. Really, he's an elder, yes, with the church, and he was supposed to come on. We're gonna still get him in because I think it'll be a very interesting conversation. But it is Saturday night, and it is Outlaw Radio, and it is Shady, right? We're talking about Shady. Yes, we're talking about that individual that you involved with that you just don't talk. You got a bad feeling about it. See, the one gift that you can have as a black man is thank God is one that I got, which is discernment. I can tell a bad spirit when I encounter him. I can tell when a motherfucker on some bullshit. That's the street way to say it. You ever got fooled? You know what? Never. No. And you know why? You know why? Because usually I knew they was on some bullshit, but for whatever reason, it might have been something I thought I was getting personally out of it. I said I could manage it. So when they screwed me over, I didn't get like pissed off. I'm like, but you knew anyways, bro.
Right.
You knew. You could see it. You could feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Right,
That's how I like.
right.
That's how I tell shady individuals. I feel their energy when they come around.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
No
you can have a short conversation and tell all about a motherfucker.
Right.
Real
well, you know, we got qualifying questions, right?
You know, exactly.
It depends on how you tell your story.
Right.
As a real cat, hey, come on, son.
That's real.
Yeah, go ahead out.
Right.
Hey, the elder said he wish he could be on. He had a definite family. I already know, bro. You already know how we get down, man. I knew this man since high school, and he walked away from a lucrative rap career. Was doing it. And if y'all remember, it was the DRE and Dre back in the days. Where is the P? This is elder.
Where is the P?
Right.
Where
I
is
need
the
some
P?
dope baking soda free. Yeah, so that's that brother right there. Jamel Braden said, "Is that bull?"
Yeah, that's me, man.
Right. Jamel.
That's me, man. I was just chiming in on your thing for you.
Right, man. So shout out to y'all, man. Represent. Let me know what y'all think. I think Jay. It looks really shady now because it looks like. Oh, but then I'm like, well, be honest about it, because what you've been crying about is there's no black ownership in NFL. So now you're getting in. Now, if Jay, I tell you what, if Jay get in on any team, if they don't stall him out and he don't bring Colin Kaepernick in, then I was right.
But you know, like I said, I'm really it's two things for it to me, from where I stand.
Okay.
You know what I mean, or how I even view it. Like I said, I want to wait and see what he does. What is this community activism shit he talking about?
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, and if he don't do shit or whatever, fuck it. I mean, really, it ain't none of that shit gonna do nothing to me in my life. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna impact me. Whatever he do, it ain't gonna.
The one way it's gonna screw my life up is because then Beyonce gonna keep remaking Frankie Beverly and Maze songs. I take that shit personal, Beyonce. I don't give a fuck about no beehive and none of that shit.
He got forever beef.
Come on, son.
Yeah, like that.
You don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's like a dude.
I can't disagree with it.
You know, it's like a dude remaking that Patti LaBelle song. I must have rehearsed my lines. If only you knew. Like, if a dude do that song, I'm like, come on, son.
Right.
Leave that song alone. Don't do that. Don't do that one. So yeah, we gotta do something about Jay-Z. Right. We gotta do something with
Jay-Z. And I never was a Jay-Z fan. As far the whole thing about how he got in, you know, selling out the cats that was trying to circumvent the system, you know what I'm saying, with Suge and all that. I mean, you just not. I'm sure you know about.
You talking about who?
Jay-Z.
No, Jay-Z and Suge now, not the same movement.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, bro.
So my understanding is, and you just snob, so you can correct me if I get any of the details wrong, but my understanding is how Jay-Z first got put on really to the upper echelon status is when the three producers, it was Suge Knight, two other cats was trying to put something together that was not going to involve. No, you don't know nothing about that. Okay,
no,
I have more details for you.
I'm gonna tell you this: as far as the mainstream rap game goes, you go to Reasonable Doubt, and you go to Dame Dash, Jay-Z.
He was one.
And
Suge Knight, Dame Dash.
No, Suge Knight wasn't there.
None of this is what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm telling you the way with Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke and Jay-Z.
Yes, sir.
Right. Reasonable Doubt, which is an album because Jay got turned down by a lot of major labels. Right. Jay had been endorsed by Big Daddy Kane. Right. And if you watch Jay-Z, his first original style, he sounded like Twister. He came out in the videos, right? And they went back to the drawing board and really made a different vision. They came with Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt in itself did not take him through the stratosphere, but it put him on the map. That has ended up being his greatest album. Even Jay has said he can't touch Reasonable Doubt. It's platinum now, but back then it didn't really go. But he comes in when they get this deal with Def Jam and Leor Cohen. So Suge is in California. He really has nothing to do with Dame Dash or Jay-Z or anything. Matter of fact, Tupac dissed Jay-Z because Reasonable Doubt came out while Pac was still alive. That's a quick.
There wouldn't be no Jay-Z if Pac was still alive, if you ask me.
Well, it wouldn't be a lot of dudes, and I don't want to say their names.
That's real.
A lot of y'all will be working with me if Tupac hadn't died. You still on tour though, so shout out to you. Y'all let us know what y'all think about this Jay-Z deal, man. It might be still too early in the game to tell, but I'm just saying, when you give me, and then I put the footage up in the People's News Network of Charlemagne asking him, you know, like, how can you even have this conversation How can you even have this conversation when Colin is not like he still don't have a job and Jay kind of
we're past that.
Right.
I speak for all black people. We don't care about that no more.
Well, yeah, right. Does he?
He seems to think so.
Are we over it? Are we over what Colin Kaepernick bowed for? I'm not talking about the actual act. I'm saying what he took a knee for.
If you over black people getting shot,
you can't be over
that.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not over it.
I think he was talking about more about the cap thing, kneeling down.
But that's what the cap thing is, though. That's what cap
I don't think he was talking about we over the cause. That would just be an outrageous statement to say, man. Like, how can you be over police killing your people?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he said we passed that.
I think he was talking about past the whole cap situation.
So what did he?
Because everybody keeps shooting the cap thing at him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the moral of the story.
I'm saying, but that's what I think they was talking about, him kneeling. We're past that. It's time to do something now. I mean, you know what I mean? Right. And that's what we wanted before.
So team up with him.
When Cap was doing that, you know what I'm saying?
Let me just ask this question. For those of you who say, well, Jay is a businessman, he's making business moves. I just want to ask one question because I totally agree. And I love the fact that you got a brother who has transcended even the culture itself and been able to go into the boardrooms now, the ones that really matter. But let me ask every black person out there one question. When has us teaming up with them ever worked? Even the treaties that they signed with Native Americans, they violated them and broke them.
All of them, the Japanese,
right?
All of them.
Even to this day, the Constitution that they wrote, they cross it and violate it. The Bill of Rights, they cross it and violate it. So why would I ever think that the solution for us as a people would be to get with them? Other than if you ain't empowering us, you ain't helping us. You got a job out of the shit. And I'm going to tell you the perfect example. The perfect example is back in the days, right? James Matthew was running for mayor of Milwaukee against Tom Barrett. He didn't have the backing of nobody, right? They was shitting on him. They was putting him on WNOV. What's my man's name? Who was the man back then? Sherwin Hughes. He was shitting on James, right? Disrespecting him. I brought him down to 3041 Live. Mr. Terry shot at 3041 North.
I think it was more than just him teaming up.
Hold on.
Because you know his profit is a factor too in it. You know what I mean? He got profit coming in.
This man had no traction. But we supported him as a people. He made it just to make a dent. They gave him a job at City Hall. He ain't been back to the People's Network since. When I called him, he said, I'm trying to rest up, brother. They gave him a job. So he got a job, and you say, well, that's good. A black man got a job. But what has he done to what has he done for the community since? Nothing. So
go ahead, brother.
Shout out to James Matthew.
Shut up.
Like I was saying, I mean, I don't think it's just about teaming up with them. You know what I mean? He's an entertainer, first of all. He is at his money. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's creating generational wealth. So it's about a profit too. This is an added reason for him to fuck with. But listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. It's about a profit, first of all. He ain't got no time to be fucking with nobody if it ain't about no profit. First and foremost.
Why not?
You know
he's
what I'm
rich.
saying? First and foremost, because he gotta maintain his businesses over here. We got him all this money.
No,
but,
how much?
Let me finish what I was saying. Like I said, that's just one side of it.
Yes, sir.
And then also, you know what I mean? Like I say, the thing was to see if we could get the NFL involved in some community shit. Since this whole protest thing started with the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So so now I'm a partner with them because I could make some money. First of all. You know what I'm saying? And then second of all, I get the opportunity to create some events, to create some shit that can possibly help the community. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's jumping in and thinking I'm finna partner with these people and change the and start the revolution. And no, it ain't that. We'll be foolish to think like that.
The elder said, he said, beware the hand when it's coming from the left. I ain't tripping, just watch your step. Can't trust it.
Hey. I can dig it, man.
Right. With a shovel. Subscribe to our YouTube page, man. It's going down.
Hit the
Outlaw Radio. Shady.
Shady.
Man, your leader. Guess what? If you want to hear God laugh, tell him what you intend on doing. Tell him your plans.
What your plans are.
He's going to laugh at you. And whoever you might think God is. But I do want to say this, because we're talking about sports. And before I even move, because it's a segue for me, as life is a segue for me. Not the kind that you ride on, but the kind that you glide on. there's a connection between slavery and sports. And that's something that has to be discussed. Yep. It's an antebellum system, right? It's a nigga market.
Yeah, the draft is a slave auction.
Right. It is. And it's symbolically, I think, because the promise of the upside of, you're going to make millions of dollars, though. And you'll put yourself out there like that. But Adrian Peterson made $100 million in his career, and he broke, right? But he went through the whole thing, big buck, strong Negro. Mm-hmm. You know, how do you put that stud out the pasture? So we'll talk about that connection as well. Go ahead, brother. You was about to jump on something.
No, I was just going to continuation of what we're saying. When we start talking about owners and we happy because a black person is an owner, that's what we wanted. I just really...
Well, I ain't saying that's what we wanted.
Oh, go ahead.
I just think that we need to get over the mindset of how, celebrating a black person just because they're black. So what? Let me tell you, if you're talking about voting and you have a white candidate, right, who has a black agenda, who has a plan for reparations, who's ready to deal with our issues of poverty and whatnot, and then you have a black person who's not, fuck that nigga. You see what I'm saying? Just because, at least we got a stop. If he's gonna do us as a people more harm than good, fuck that nigga. So Jay-Z being just because he's an owner, fuck that nigga.
Okay,
what make him an owner though? He ain't no owner.
Well, no. This is the latest news that was in the People's News Network that we found out. Mm-hmm. That part of this deal is he's going to become a majority owner somewhere in the NFL. So the carrot is, if you work with us on this, you can become owner, and that would make him one of only 2 out of 30.
But I mean,
32 teams.
Okay, yeah, he helping them because
he's helping himself.
They both gonna make money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but what did you give up for the people in order to see?
We don't know what he gave up.
We don't know yet. We don't know, but we do know one thing.
We know in a minute.
We know he did he did a dance I call the Obama.
Hey,
you know what the Obama dance is? I'm gonna disavow myself from Jeremiah Wright. I'm gonna disavow myself from Louis Farrakhan, and I'm gonna say Ronald Reagan is my hero as a politician. Now we get redacted documents that show Ronald Reagan called black people monkeys.
And what do you think he had to say about it?
And that's your hero.
What did Obama say about it? Anybody ask him?
Right.
Hey, what if the plan is to be a majority owner of the NFL team and then give Cap some?
That's what I just said.
Who knows?
I just said if you do that, that's the only way this can work out. If you do that, then it's like, yeah. If you don't, I'm like, what you always say?
I'm just saying, fuck them. But we bashing the hell out of motherfuckers before we know what they gonna do.
We're not bashing them on here. We just putting all the information in there. But people ain't kept up with it. Like, I'm not.
Jason just said, fuck that nigga.
That's true. But that's him. the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those when a motherfucker that said it.
Okay, here we go.
I didn't say that. Right.
So, but I'm not running from the statement. My thing is, just because a dude is black, right? I don't celebrate his achievement because he's black. If he's not going to come back, if he's not about black people and he's about himself, you got a job, right? You're an owner. Good for you. But the point,
I don't think nobody celebrating it.
But the point of what Cat was kneeling for is the black people that's dying in the street. We got what 64,000 missing black women. You know what I'm saying? We're not over it. What do you mean?
Right.
Fuck that.
I get your
He didn't say we over that.
No, he said we're past that.
Or we're not past it.
He said we passed it. He said it's time for action.
But this is what Cap is kneeling for.
Bull, he said it. He didn't.
I dig it. But the way I'm talking about the way y'all putting it though, the way y'all putting it is that he's saying we passed the shit that happened.
Listen to what he said. Let me.
He just said 64,000 black women missing, right? And then he said we passed that. He didn't say we was past that.
No, I didn't say he said we passed that.
He said
I said we're not. I said we're not past that because what he said was we're past Kaepernick kneeling, but that's what he was kneeling for. So don't be dismissive of him because that's what the white people been doing. That's why we got a problem. That's why most people don't even know what Kaepernick. I'm telling from what he said. I heard it for myself. This is what I got.
Okay, so check this out. I think the problem with his statement is this. I understood what he said, but I know what he meant, right? So my thing is, I think he was trying to say, yeah, we did that and it worked. So we got this kind of scenario.
Now let's do something.
But what the point he missed was it was what Kaepernick initially kneeled for. It's not about the act of kneeling. It's not about the NFL. It's about the fact that Kaepernick did that because of what we go through.
And I was talking to somebody,
and that hasn't stopped.
That
hasn't stopped.
Too, about why Kaepernick started leaving. They said he wanted some more money.
No, that's what they said. It was about police brutality.
I don't know.
That's what I'm telling you.
Well,
what he kneeled for, and if you are from this country, at this time we were coming off.
He's been saying
we were coming off Mike Brown. We were coming off Seville Smith. We're coming off. What's my man here? The brother who got murdered in the park, the mentally ill brother. I'm out of order.
Sorry, I'm bad with names.
For not remembering his name.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, and that's disrespectful to the family.
Yeah, we apologize.
But we were coming off a time we had the Sherman Park uprising because social justice or the lack thereof had built up to a crescendo, so it exploded, right? And Kaepernick looked around and said, "Dude, we getting paid $1 million to pay a kid's game. Let me make a statement." It really wasn't about nothing else but the fact that how can we be this happy and act like ain't nothing happening? Well, and in the courts, conviction rates are disproportionate. I do more time for the same crime that my white counterpart did. He gets less time. As a black man with as a black man with a college degree, it's statistically proven in this country that we are unemployed at a rate that's fucking higher than white dudes. Lower than white dudes who just got a high school diploma. So that means if you white and you got a high school diploma and I'm a black man with a master's degree, you probably still, the median income is $30,000 for a black person in Milwaukee. For white people, it's $60,000. That is what Colin Kaepernick knelt for, right? For Jay-Z to say
we're past that.
He misspoke. I don't believe he's a coon. I'm not bashing it.
So we upset because he said that just because he said we passed that?
And he said it in front of white people because we don't tell our business in front of white people.
And he didn't contact Kaepernick.
He didn't
even talk to the brother.
He lied about
he off on his own shit. He don't represent it.
He do. Kaepernick started the movement. You got to talk to him. It's like Muhammad Ali sitting out because
he has something planned already. Because check this out, right?
That's a whole lot of benefit of the doubt.
Any of y'all ever looked at his track record?
He's done great things.
So how do we know he ain't finna do something great?
Because he wore a shirt that said "Do as thou wilt."
Okay, so that cancel out everything he done. All the great
I knew you were Shady when I seen that shirt.
Opposed to what he might do.
When I seen that shirt, I knew.
Fuck Mike.
When did he wear that shirt?
It's been about 4 or 5 years now since that popped up.
Since that popped up. Yeah. Well, okay.
And then when
did he really get out? So when did he really get out? Around the time when he wore the shirt. So that's when he got.
When did this shit happen that you said might happen?
That's when he got ownership of the Mets. That's when he started penetrating other bit. Like that's when
we're not a rapper no more. Now you're doing other shit.
Way before that.
But he wasn't empowered. We didn't have access to those rooms.
You broke the glass ceilings.
When he got access to the rooms is around the time he had the shirt on, bro. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
I'm just.
It's a fact.
Me myself. I can't get mad at nobody just because I feel like they got
the elder chimed in. He said that shirt.
We limitless, man.
He said that shirt is satanic.
We limitless.
Thank you. Shout out to DeAndre Love. You see, this why I called you. This why you got to come on here. Because we some rough hooligans over here. And we need guidance, brother. Come on in, man. And if anybody else out there got something to say, you can chime in too. It is what it is. Free conversation. You get no disrespect by expressing your opinion.
No, it's just opinion.
Just be respectable of the platform.
That's it.
And we can all agree to disagree and walk away happy and shake hands and hug up. And depending on where you at in your life, we probably blow one or something.
Still be passionate about what we're talking about.
It's all good, man. Peace, love, and soul,
man.
Yes. He said that statement on that shirt is the first rule in the Satanic Bible.
Hey,
I'm coming at you.
And if you don't think there's anything wrong with that, then
so we following another Bible.
Well, no, that's the Satanic Bible.
So we got 2 Bibles now.
There is a Satanic Bible.
I don't believe in neither one of them books.
Ooh, there we go again.
Hey,
there we go. It's Outlaw Radio. Microphone is wet. I love that, right?
That's what's up,
man. Hit like, hit share, hit follow, man. Y'all better get on our YouTube page. Y'all better get down, man. Hey, my brother Tank. Shout out to Tank, man. One of my homeboys. He said, I think it's too soon to say anything. Let's see his next move. Oh, okay, I can deal with that. But I was talking about the link between slavery and sports. And, I'm a former college athlete. Like, I played college ball. So I went through the whole gamut. And I understand how it happens, how you get in, how you get recruited. You go through this whole process. I get the whole thing. And you do have to get out there. And the one thing I had a serious conflict. Like my last year of college football, I had a serious conflict with the whistle. It got to the point where the whistle started to bother me. Like I'd be in practice and somebody would blow a whistle and I would start running through bags and shit. I start doing drills and shit. Like, rah, rah. And I start saying, what the fuck? He just blew a whistle.
Right.
Are you a trained fucking
dog.
monkey?
Fucking dog. That's how we do dogs.
And I went through it. And I had a great time because I love football and I got so much out of it. I got a lot out of it. I got a degree. I met my wife. Like all kinds of shit. But I just had a problem towards the end of the psychological part of it. Even when I got like damn, my arm hurt. No, it doesn't hurt. It don't hurt. Because you got to play this.
Rub some dirt on it.
And then I'd be like, you right. I'm born again tough. Right, type shit. I said, damn, you was a goon. You was programmed.
Love pain.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did. I did.
Yourself.
I love the you
feel the burn. Looking
down the field. Right?
Right.
That's an honorable death. Right? So I get the whole thing. And when you add millions of dollars behind it, it becomes such a caveat for us because I'm a hip hop snob and I can quote a lot of great jewels from great rappers. And this is how you know you are a great rapper because you have great quotables. And Biggie said, either you're slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. And those are the two options that you have in the black community when you coming up. And I remember when I came home from school, almost every brother except for maybe 3 said this to me. Damn, dog, why you didn't go pro? Why you didn't go pro? Like 3 dudes said to me, you got your degree? And I said, yeah. They said, oh. Because I did go pro, because I became a professional. I just wasn't a professional football player.
Right.
So we're programmed to think that this is what we can do. If not, when your mixtape coming out, right? Nobody's going to buy it except your grandmama. Right. This is a bop, baby. Listen to it. Shit. My grandson got flows. He got swag. Look at him dripping.
Right. And see, that's why it's so important. That's also why it's so important for, you know what I mean, the brothers in the hood, you know what I mean, to start raising your consciousness, man. Start learning about yourself. Learn where you come from. Learn how they live. You know what I'm saying? Learn the things that they knew. You know what I mean? Because, see, when you start raising your consciousness, shit start popping up in your life. Different ways to make money start popping up. You start getting ideas, all type of new shit that ain't nobody else doing. Right. You know what I mean? I take myself for as an example. You know, with the herbs and stuff. I never thought I'd be slanging herbs and shit. Popping this shit off now.
You always slang herbs, though.
Exactly. But I never knew.
You always slang herbs.
Hey, yeah. It's true. What? I never knew it was going to go this way.
Your destiny was already written.
So as you start raising your consciousness, man, you know, and then, you know, I think about
it too. Like that.
I'll be at the house, you know what I mean, mixing my herbs. I got the scale and all this shit going on, you know what I mean?
Oh, in the kitchen.
I look like I'm at the spot, you know what I mean? Wrist twitching in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like stir fry. You know what I mean?
And he put some young shit.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But like y'all hold it down.
Yeah, but like I said, you know what I mean? It's about the young brothers in the hood, man. Raising your consciousness. You know what I mean? I like to tell people, I tell the story all the time. I like to tell people, find your passion. You know what I'm saying? When you find your passion, you can figure out how to monetize it. If you can figure out how to monetize it, that's your business right there. And since it's your passion, when you're dealing with people or when you're selling something to your people, they're going to feel that love that you have for your product. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When I'm telling somebody about my herbs and I'm talking about these herbs, they can feel the love that I have for it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So since I love it so much, my customer service is going to be on 1,000.
And it's yours.
You dig what I'm saying?
You ain't
and it's
yours.
That's the main thing.
Ain't nothing like your own.
And that feeling, you know what I mean? I mean, that's that right there. A sense that you could do something like that for yourself, that raises your level of self-love also. Doing these type of things, you know what I mean, is how you raise your self-love. We have to learn how to do this in our hood, and that's one of the ways we can save ourselves about this bullshit.
Absolutely. I did want to say this about the sports thing.
Well said, brother.
Because I'm not going to tell young brothers not to play sports, because I won't. And I understand that sometimes the ends justify the means. So you do what you got to do to get up out this hellhole. I'm not knocking that at all. And that the ability to play that game totally changed my life.
Amen.
Because I don't even want to think about who I would be had I never gotten the opportunity to play.
I'm gonna tell you, I learned so much. I played football from 10 till I graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? So I love football. I learned so much playing football. Exactly. It wasn't just how to tackle. You know what I mean?
No.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing that I learned that I feel like carry over to right now. You are more capable than you ever could think you are.
Right.
You know know what I mean? You could do things that you never thought you could do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you put your heart and your effort and your soul into something, you dig what I'm talking about? You could do anything.
Yeah.
And that's what football taught me. I did some shit on that field that you know what I
Didn't
mean?
know you could
I
do.
never thought I'd be able to do, but that culture I had got me to do
right.
it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. You got to dig deep. So when I say somebody's shady, sometimes, you know, once again, I think I made it presentable for people of color, in which you meet a homeboy who, because we're all broken people, we're all traumatized, we all have something. There's something wrong with all of us. And sometimes you say, well, I can deal with that as long as he or she does this or that. But sometimes it ain't worth the struggle. Sometimes it's you should just cut that off early. Like, because, you know, shout out to Key Minor, who was on the show last Thursday. And I said, the sister did a great job. Please go back. Shout out to you if you watched that show. It's very highly rated.
Peace.
Shout out to y'all. Power to the people. But check this out. She brought up energy. And she talked about how bringing in negative energy is going to throw your energy off.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you got to say it's not worth the sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And you just alluded to, when you do let that go and step out on some faith, stuff starts to pop up for you.
Powers in the belief.
Right. Your understanding blooms.
Powers in the belief.
You know, you can feel the energy. You feel it. You know
So,
what I mean?
so what I would say is to tell brothers, don't stop playing sports, but let's get a better understanding of the administration of sports.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get more black athletic directors at the college level.
Yeah.
Right. And that's an issue too that we don't discuss, because the in terms of college sports, they've been pimping us forever. And we know the NCAA is full of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's get more black ADs. Let's get more black college officers, presidents, you know, vice presidents, deans. Let's get built on that level, and then we'll do better by our people coming through there, right? So they won't get so victimized, right? So don't boycott sports, boycott the administration, because, you know, if you make $1 billion and you only give me 100,000, I'm getting pimped,
right?
And somebody said, but you made 100,000. He made $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I bought a car and then I had to pay taxes and I was broke 2 months later.
College,
I'm gonna tell you, man, whenever you working for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you working with somebody, whether you're an athlete, if you just going like these 9-to-5s that we do. Same shit.
Working
you know what I mean?
poor.
We getting pimped. You know what I mean? We
Working
making
poor.
crumbs.
There should be no such thing as a working poor for what's supposed to be the richest country in the world.
Exactly.
And I think I have to quote. I
I
have to quote Willie D on that. I told y'all I'm full of it. I'm on my hip hop snob shit tonight.
Oh shit, he on the road.
He is full of it.
Willie D had a song. It was called "Going Out Like a Soldier." And Willie D said, "I left Charlie Brown on the cut because I felt like Snoopy working for Peanuts."
That's real shit. Right.
And it resonated with your boy back in the days. I hit rewind and said, "Ooh, did he just say that, country ass?" You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the reality of it, man. Because, you know, we say sometimes you the bug, sometimes you the windshield, sometimes you smash, sometimes you get smashed.
The hammer or the nail.
Right. So we come up with all these kinds of things to make us feel better about getting screwed over.
Right.
But if we understood how systems work and we penetrated the administration of the system, right? Like, it's cool to be a worker bee. If that's your role, play it.
You mean you may have to be that for a minute.
But then,
you know what I'm saying?
Those who you're responsible for, raise them to be on a higher level than you.
Yes,
You know, each one teach one, right?
Yeah.
So,
or two, shit.
Yeah, it's all like or 3 or 4.
Hey,
I mean, how many can you afford?
And that's why I teach this find your passion thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you could do your own thing. You know, I even tell kids a lot of the time, like, okay, you don't have to go to college, but you at least need to go get you some kind of skilled trade. If you get a skilled trade, you come out of there with your own business,
you
right?
Feed yourself. The top. Wherever you go in the country, you can feed
what
yourself.
I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so that's very important too. If you don't go to school,
don't get being educated and going to college mixed up. And this is a big mistake we make too.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. A liberal arts education does not mean that you are educated. It means you went to college.
Yeah.
Now, you get some people who are the salt of the earth that are street smart and that have people skills and that are right. Well, yeah.
Well, think about it.
But if you get somebody who has great discernment and they motivated and they're convicted, they are intelligent beings as well. So they're educated. You just went to college.
I teach doctor shit.
Right. Okay. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? I teach doctors shit. You know, I'd have been to the hospital and the doctor and all that type of stuff, man. It's crazy because now I go in the whole conversation with one of them, you know what I mean? And it fucks them up, some of the shit I be saying. Because, you know, I connect dots that they never thought connected. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
A cousin of mine fucked his skull up. He had cracked his skull, so he had surgery on his brain.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I mean? He was real fucked up when he come out of it. You know what I mean? And I'm in there talking to the doctors, talking about, I'm trying to think it'll help if we gave him some magnesium, if he had some magnesium, since magnesium feeds the brain.
Yes,
and, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they thought about it. You know, magnesium does, but we don't have that. We don't prescribe it. Yeah, but I'm already knowing, of course you don't.
Right.
We wouldn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I brought it in for my cousin myself. And I'm going to tell you, man, after 2 weeks, they was amazed. After 2 weeks, he coming up out of there. He walking up out of there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Man, shout out to Do Mac. That's my homeboy. What you
So,
talking about? God is good all the time.
You know, all the time.
Right? And look, shout out to Chef Monique Brown. I still got to put it up. I don't care. I put the picture of the boil in. I hope y'all got your order in. I'm still going. I'm gonna forever put that. This is some of the most delicious food I ever
We
had.
might have to do a part 2.
Right.
Shout out to Tanine.
I don't know if it'll be free this time, right? But it was delicious, man, and I paid for it because it was well worth it.
For sure.
Chef Monique Brown, man, shout out to her. Shout out to Serena Brown at 3041 North.
Yes.
And Mr. Terry down there getting it done. 414-810-3131 is Outlaw Radio on a Saturday night. I hope y'all getting dressed, getting ready to go somewhere. I hope you understand that when you go anywhere, keep your head on the swivel, be safe, man. You know, and be able to get rid of those people around you who are going to bring bad shit to you. Sometimes if you got a partner and you really love him, but he's shady, you got to accept the fact that he or she is just shady. And you got to keep yourself at a distance from him, because what will happen is my love for you will get me involved in some of your bullshit, right? Because I'm in here with you and I'm going to ask questions later. We done did what we did, but then I find out that it was over some bullshit you did. So it's like you already involved with it. We have to be very careful with that. You know, it's all about energy and matching energy.
Yeah, see, talking about energy, you know, blessings come in high vibrations up here, right?
Okay.
You got people around you that's vibrating down here.
Right away.
You got to bring your vibration down here to deal with it.
Right.
So what's happening is you missing your blessing. It's going right over your head. You know what I mean? Because you done dropped your vibration down.
That's why I always say, man, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to look around. The question becomes, even with the criticism, and I hope I didn't, because I don't feel like I bashed Jay. I think I asked the questions that need to be asked of Jay. Because the first question I would ask of Jay-Z, if I could sit down with him, wouldn't be anything about the NFL. It would solely be based on the shirt. It would solely be based on the satanic versage. That's what I want to know, right? So I'm not knocking him if what he did is turns out to be great. It's fine. But like I'm saying, in the past, I'm going to ask this question one more time just in case you just tuned in.
It's a good question.
Just in case you just tuned in to Outlaw Radio Shady, right?
It's not rhetorical.
I'm going to ask this question one more time. Name a situation where we teamed up with them and it worked out for us. Name a situation where we sat down and came together at a table with them and we said, we'll do this if y'all do that. When have they held their end of the bargain up? Never. Right? When has there ever been an understanding, even if you go to the legislation and the legislative part of it, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, in which you outlaw racism and this kind of thing in the country, but here 50 years later, the same bullshit exists and even on deeper level.
The president doing it.
Right.
40 acres and a mule.
Right. If we go all the way back to Reconstruction, right? So why do you have to deal with Jim Crowism after you deal with losing the Civil War? The reason with the Civil War is the Southern mentality of how to treat people of color, making them subservient, making them cattle. Y'all lost the war, right? We fought to get rid of that. How does that situation kind of get right back into the heart of America for the next 100 years? You understand me? Let me know if you know something that I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You talk about like, whoa, my brother's keeper. You are, but what the fuck are you keeping for us? You're on your way out. Brother, you in Hawaii and you...
But they black.
Right.
Oh, but they black.
Oh.
We should be happy because they black, right?
I left Charlie Brown on the cut because I felt like Snoopy. working for peanuts.
Hey,
all of them ain't
you know
us.
what I'm gonna tell you? I think we should have had the same conversation about Obama.
We do.
We
have.
Oh, we always.
Plenty
I'm
that-
extremely
That
objective
nigga
about
ain't
Obama.
do shit.
Now that he did more for gays than
That
he did
nigga
for
ain't
blacks.
do shit.
Come on, real tough. We didn't set up here. We didn't went back and
You know
forth on
what I
that
mean?
quite a few times.
Shady. Listen,
Hey, and even when he got elected, we should have been questioning, right?
which one? The
According,
first or the second?
according to how we say it, like when
Once
a black
again.
man get to a certain level, how do you get
I'm glad
to
you
be
brought that
president?
up.
And that's
I'm glad you
You
brought
know
that
what
up.
I'm saying?
You know why I'm glad you brought that up?
We should have held him under scrutiny as soon as he
Because
won.
he said it early. First of all, when you disavowed yourself from Farrakhan and Jeremiah
Oh
Wright,
yeah, right.
on
Yeah,
the ball
right.
ball.
and then you
That's
said,
right, dude.
and then you said there will be no black agenda. We still voted for your
Right.
ass twice.
Still voted.
Come on, son.
So again,
Yeah, boy, hello.
so again,
I know he didn't say it, but he gonna do it. Watch.
Now, because the second time, black people was like this.
no, I thought so
We-
too. The second term, he can't get reelected. Oh, he can just go
Fuck, he
all
can
in
do
on the
anything
way.
now.
Oh yeah, on the way out.
Fuck out of here.
He didn't do.
And I know black people watching the show like they need to get up off Obama. It's usually old black people, right? Because they just happy to see a mixed dude in office, right? So they say leave Obama alone. And look, it's very important for me. The symbolism of Obama was great, right?
Yeah.
Jesse even said he wanted to cut his nuts off, and then he cried at the inauguration. Like, damn. I don't know if Jesse was crying so he didn't actually get to touch his nuts or what.
He was crying because where Jesse go, black people were like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Right?
But it felt good. It felt real good to see my kids get to see a black president.
I understand some.
That felt good.
Some
Jesse
expectations.
For one
were
night, it
surpassed.
felt good.
Yes.
And then the reality set up. Like,
Right.
I'm laid off.
You know what?
You know that a black
listen,
man in the house?
Unless you black and gay,
Hold
then
on.
he's your favorite.
Hey,
player.
hey.
If you black and gay, he's your man.
Ass is good. Evil is good. And if you get your piece of evil ass, woo! Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's it, man.
No, Outlaw Radio, man.
Yeah, Outlaw
Just having
Radio.
fun with it, man.
Saturday night, man.
If you love Obama, say
Shady.
you love him, man. Say y'all leave Obama alone.
I
you know.
say Obama was shady.
Right. It looks shady, and we still win with it.
Yeah.
And then 8 years
Because he's
later,
black.
8 years later, not only did we make any progress, then we got Trump.
Oh,
So it's been
They
now
went
we
a
on the
long
12
way to
one
make
step forward.
You know what
two
it sounds
steps
like
back.
to me? Y'all know what 8 plus 4 is? 12. 12 years a slave. That's what that is right there.
Hello, somebody.
Right. With a light skinned
Hey,
dude
look,
in
and
the White House.
hey, listen, man. And the way the last election went, Trump gonna be the president again.
You goddamn right, because white people hit their hand.
Ain't nobody gonna vote. I mean, everybody vote for the other motherfucker. The
Well-
electoral college going with Trump.
Well,
Let
the
me tell you
point is,
something.
it's
Like
20,
they did.
25 people came out to run for the Democratic nomination. All you doing is splitting the numbers. When you start putting fake black candidates to kind of skew the numbers
Yep.
and take it
Yep.
from where it should be, and then as it whittles down, this person said, well, I endorse him, and I endorse him, and I endorse
Well,
him.
let me tell you.
And that's how they deliver the black vote to whoever it is that they fucking decide
Yep.
is going to be our nominee.
Exactly. But even still,
Please
that,
understand.
now whoever the nominee is, even if we agreed on who that nominee is, Trump still gonna win.
Well, who's the nominee?
I'm just whoever it is.
Who's running? That means ain't nobody in the...
And the reason I'm saying that is because of how
Ain't
that
no
last.
Listen,
I'm saying the reason why I'm saying that is because of how the last election went.
They-
The
they
popular vote
they don't
went
put,
against Trump.
they don't put
The
that
electoral
much
college
energy
went with Trump, and
and
he's the
money
president.
into
Again,
voter
everybody
suppression.
vote for the other motherfucker.
They don't do that.
What you saying?
I said they don't put that much energy and money and tactics behind voter suppression if the black vote don't matter.
Right, okay.
I get what you're saying.
But it didn't matter last time.
That's the whole electoral college. What do you know?
No,
why?
but so many
Why
of us
would you
didn't
say-
vote.
That's what I've been asking that on every show. ain't I?
Because so many of us didn't vote,
Right,
and I'm
because
one
of
of them.
right. So this is what I'm saying.
A lot of us
But-
sat that out.
But the bottom line,
The Obama
Trump
voters
lost
didn't
the
come out.
popular. Wait a minute. Let
He
me
wouldn't
ask
have
y'all.
lost it if we'd have voted.
The popular vote is the people vote, right? That's when we go to the elect, when we go to the booth and vote. That's the popular vote.
Right.
That's the vote that we want.
That's
right?
the vote, right?
Okay. So our vote went our way last time, but he still won.
Well, he won because number one, when you talk about the electoral college, you talk about battleground states. You talk about a state like Wisconsin that he did not win, which you need to win. You have to win Ohio. See, there's rules, there's levels to this shit.
So why we
listen,
even got that shit?
well, no, because
we
you
got
have
the
to.
vote then if they
You
gonna
have
do
to.
that, bro.
You have to because you have
It's an outdated
California.
law.
Because you
Should
have
be eliminated.
But you have California, you have Texas, and you have New York. And between those three states, they could decide the election. But they have the population to do so. So you balance it out with a representation. It's like in the leagues when we talk about small market teams, they get revenue sharing. right? So all the money New York and Cali makes.
All that. I understand
So,
how
no,
the
this is side of it.
work. But
So,
what I'm saying
hold on.
is,
Hillary
even
didn't even
besides
come.
that, it shouldn't even
Hillary
be,
didn't even come to
it shouldn't
Wisconsin.
even be that.
She didn't even come to Milwaukee.
I agree. There should be no. The rule is outdated.
It should be the people. The people voted.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It ain't the popular votes in this state.
So then
the
that
popular
means
votes in that state.
then that means because there's less people in North Dakota than California should lord over.
But however many people is in Dakota, that don't change the number of people that's in the United States.
No. If it's 50 million people,
if it's
because
50
if you
million
live in
people
North
in the
Dakota,
United
you
States,
deserve your
it's
peace,
50
right?
million people voting.
But because you don't have as many people as California can make your decision for you. It's about checks and balances.
But there's no difference because right now the Electoral College can make the decision for you.
They can't. You have to win those states. She didn't. No, she did not win. They didn't win the key states. And black people are the ones that take it over. Look at what just happened in the gubernatorial race, right?
No, that's different.
Well, hold on,
there's no Electoral College.
I know, but let me finish. Okay. It's districts, right? It's districts. And there's absentee votes. You know what decided Scott
absentee votes.
From where?
From Wisconsin.
Milwaukee County. Black votes. When they counted
which
them,
is why overnight they changed that law.
Well, hold on. No, they tried. No, Evers came in. No. That shit's in court.
I'm just saying.
But check this out.
It's in court. It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. But look, okay. So check this out. So what I'm saying to you is because he came down, there's way more white people in Wisconsin than there are black people. This state is 85% white, but because of the way the districts are set up, because there's checks and balances when it comes to absentee votes from Milwaukee County, which is 85%. Milwaukee County, not the city, 85% black color.
I understand what you're saying, but when you lean,
I just didn't want you to choke me and then hear what I was saying.
When you lean on checks and balances, and I'm telling you this for a fact, the checks and balances are always going to work in their favor. Right.
Fly in the buttermilk.
Because their checks and balances going to make sure they don't lose.
So then the question becomes, which I think Brother Bull said the other night so passionately and eloquently, is, if not this, then where do we start? And that's the question. That's the $1 million question. And nobody, myself, nobody on this panel, and nobody listening to the show, regardless of what they think, knows.
You ain't got the answer,
Where
Sway.
do we start?
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Right. Where do we start? Right. But you can't answer that one question, though. Right. You can't answer that one question. When has us hooking up with them ever worked for us?
Ever.
Never.
Even with the checks and balances.
Right. Never worked.
Even with the amendments.
I love y'all.
Right. Even with the treaties.
Right. Hey. Eddie Murphy is coming back as Dolomite.
And let me tell you, I love Eddie Murphy coming back, like the talks he's doing about the
Princess of Moon is coming back.
Right, I was gonna say, he got a couple joints coming out, man. And Ed is an instant first ballot Hall of Famer, man. Come on, do your thing.
But the Dolomite shit looks so hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks. If you ain't watched the trailer, it's on my. It's
especially if you're familiar with Dolomite. I remember Dolomite, right?
He looked like what's his name on Showgirls.
All right, Thunder. What was his name? Thunder. What was his name?
Ricky Thunder.
He got sold. Jimmy got sold.
Yeah, Jimmy Thunder. That's what we looked like. I saw a picture of.
But trivia for y'all.
All right.
A lot of people don't know. Dolomite lived in Milwaukee for years.
I didn't know that.
He lived here for years and was dancing in clubs and singing and shit. So some of the shit he's doing in this movie is going to be in Milwaukee. And he was old when he was 81 when he died. So this was like 40s, 50s. Then he went to California and became Dolomite. But I think the story of Dolomite is one of this. I'm not going to let you tell me how we should look, how we should talk, how we should act, what we should do. I'm going to do it myself. James Brown has a very classic song when he say, I don't want you to give me nothing. Just leave the door
open the door and I get it myself.
I get it myself. Right. And that's what black people should be about. That's why I say if you got a business or you got something you want to do, you want to get over, man, come holler at us, man. This is real talk. Like we have an interest. Word. We have an interest in cooperation. But my biggest word is solidarity, because I believe when it comes down to it, black people really only have 3 choices. And those are my 3 S's, which are separatism, solidarity, or sovereignty.
He said separatism, y'all.
Separatism,
all right.
Solidarity, or sovereignty. Yeah. Sovereignty. And I don't believe we're ready for 2 of them S's.
We're moving to Ghana.
Sure. We sure are ready for it. We ain't ready for separatism or sovereignty,
right?
But we can do solidarity.
Right. Yeah,
that's an S.
We're not moving to Ghana.
We should be able to start off there.
No doubt.
Make sure y'all go to Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements.
What's the number?
On Facebook.
Right.
My phone number is 414-949-2122. I got that fire detox, got that good sea moss.
Hey.
Come get your sea moss. Sea moss is blowing up too, y'all.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've been seeing more and more people talking about it, man. I get so many reviews about that sea moss, talking about how it helped them, man. It's helping them with their joint pains. People will work out. It's excellent for that, man. You could go super hard on that sea moss, man. So make sure y'all go to Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements on Facebook. You can chime in to the health group, Healthy Self, Heal Thyself. Hey. Or find me on Facebook, Kamar Carter. That's what's up.
Shout out to my brother Hatef and Sound Silhouette.
What up,
Outlaw Radio. Outlaw TV is coming, part 2. We did Black and White. It's up.
Yeah.
That's why I say you got to go to the YouTube and subscribe, because all of that stuff is up. It's almost like 50 shows in there right now.
Man.
Right. So
we've
it's
been
a lot
doing
of content.
this, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a process.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about female rappers because I've been watching Nicki Minaj go absolutely apeshit on everybody this week. Because Nicki is not going. She ain't going. Because Nicki is headed towards irrelevancy. And she ain't going quiet.
Right.
She knows it.
She gonna take somebody
right.
down.
Well, she going out kicking the crib, right? She kicking at everybody. Nicki is like, fuck all. No, and Nicki got a podcast, Queen Radio, in which she lets loose.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no doubt. She's
I'm going to have to check it out of curiosity.
Over the last week, Nicki done said, fuck everybody. Like, well, fuck Bill Cosby and shit. Like,
leave Bill alone.
Right. No, I'm just saying, man. Nicki's just going, man. Yeah. But I just, my sister, Key Minor, I want to talk about this with her here, and I'm going to bring it up when she's here. But she referenced it, like, why sisters don't get along. And in particular, you see female rappers, if you think about it, female rappers have traditionally always been plot and like pitted against each other. Mm-hmm. They never really can get along. And it's usually, like they say, it's one at a time. Now, Cardi and the Megan Thee Stallion, who's going to be at Hip Hop Week in Milwaukee, and all these people going crazy for that. Whereas a couple years ago, it wasn't nothing but Nicki. Now it's like, nah, you yesterday's trash.
It ain't room for two, right?
Right. Because it can't be more than two chicks.
But it could be Britney Spears and Taylor Swift or whatever the fuck y'all listen to. I don't know.
I don't understand that. Right. Two women can't be at the top in the music.
Well, you don't understand. Two women can barely be in the same room without arguing.
But in the industry, that should be easy.
In life, women are cats.
See each other.
Look.
You get what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying, though? Like, they ain't got to see each other.
Chris Rock said it best.
Y'all beef.
Chris Rock said it best.
Y'all got so much money. You ain't never got to see this motherfucker.
You don't. But you do. Because they're gonna keep bringing it up. But Chris Rock said it like this. He said, difference between a man and a woman. And everybody's like, what? He said, a brother will go and see his partner with his girlfriend and be like, you know what? That's cool. Like, I like what he got. I'm going to get me a girl like that. He said a woman be like, I'm going to get that motherfucker right there, and I'll cut that bitch's throat to do it. Mm-hmm. And that females can't, and when you get 3 of them in the room, it is drama.
Oh, yeah, it goes down. That's a fact.
Right. So sisters always get at us. How y'all always fight. Y'all is too. Y'all call each other bitch as a term of endearment.
Let me tell you, and they fight as much, if not more than we do.
Because brothers get the guns now.
Look on your feed.
Look
on the feed. You said the sisters are snatching each other's weaves out.
That's damn right. Before they stay fair.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Some corn. I don't know what it was about.
It don't matter. It wasn't worth that.
Much love and appreciation, man. Keep supporting us, man. And please understand. We are all very humbled by y'all checking us out and supporting us and passing it along, because I see more and more people chiming in.
That's what's up.
And I appreciate that. So much love to y'all, man.
Love.
We won't be back until Wednesday. I'm going to share all the shows. I'll put up plenty of stuff. Keep supporting the shout out to the People's News Network, DAMGENT 3041 North, and everybody else who supports us, Black Nurses Rock, Brother Gigolo Jackson.
Hey.
I just want you to understand, if you're the type of person that is always about excuses and you can never really take accountability for your role in the situation, and you're always talking about but this, but that, and if this and if that, a very wise man once said to me, if my auntie had balls, she'd have been my uncle. I see y'all Wednesday night.
Peace. Where is the P?
Where is the elder, P? Right? The elder, right? Dre Love. Right?
Some dope. Bacon soda.